Hello and welcome. It's the last week of August. It's been a few weeks since my last video, but coming up today, promise you we will have a full tour of the plot and a half, and I'll take up my first early potatoes, which is right here. Finally, they've been in the ground 19 weeks for various reasons. But first, let's have a quick chat about allotment priorities. I've covered this before, but it's an interesting subject. It is for me anyway. So right, put aside your limiting factors. Time, how much time you've got, if you're in good health or not. Have you got other things going on in life? Whatever time you've got at the allotment, what are your priorities? In my opinion, 4 priorities. The aesthetics of it, what it looks like. Do you want tidy rows? Have you got a chaotic mess? I'm still working on that, and various parts of my allotment might be neater than others. Some of it's sculpting, if you like the fruit zone where we've got like grass paths between trees and things. But so aesthetics. Then you've got the maintenance aspect of it. Again, that probably feeds into the aesthetics of it, how nice it looks. If you don't keep it all trimmed and nice, yes, you could still grow crops in your beds, but does it look nice? And you've got to keep it weed free for crops. Or certain plants will sort of stifle the crops that you're trying to grow. So keeping it weed free so you can crop as much as possible. So then we come on to the next sort of important factor, which is the crops. We're here for a reason, and that is to grow some food. Am I going to starve if my food doesn't grow? No, I'm not. So why am I here? What am I doing it for? Satisfaction. There's nothing like the satisfaction of pulling an onion, for example, out of the ground, or digging up your potatoes and seeing what's there, see how many are being eaten before you can get to them. So there's all that. But then that leads on to my most important priority, in my opinion, is the enjoyment of it. Again, the satisfaction of growing things and just going to camera. Look at that! taking a big bag of produce home. Your family go, oh God, not more of that. But you've grown it and you've done it yourself. But there's also enjoyment. You know, there's the health benefits of being out and about, getting vitamin D from the sun when it comes out, exercise, etc. Personally, there's also another factor that I have to factor in, whether it's important to you or not. I've got a YouTube channel, so does the aesthetics of it matter more? Should it matter more? Do I need to make it all nice and neat and tidy before I produce a video? Video production takes some time. It might look shoddy, but it takes time. Do I spend my time messing about with camera locations, or do I spend that time putting things in the ground? And you know, for me, the balance of maintenance, keeping it weed free, and putting things in the ground and making sure I take things out of the ground, not quite sure I've got that balance right yet. For example, the first early potatoes that have been in way too long. So that is a kind of long way round of saying I was on holiday for 3 weeks and I wasn't very well, and then we went to London, and I've been catching up ever since. That being said, let's have the plot tour. Bear in mind those 4 important things, in my opinion: aesthetics, maintenance, crops, and enjoyment. Am I ticking all the boxes, or have I got it completely wrong? Let's have the plot tour. So let's have a tour of the plot and a half. I'll do it all in one go. See how much I can remember. See how many mistakes I make. At the front here, got the strawberries. I ripped them all out 2 or 3 years back, because they were getting unproductive. Started again, but there's so many runners, so many plants of different ages. I'm losing track which ones are the oldest, which ones I need to keep in, and which ones I need to remove. 2 types of leeks here: mussel brown and elephant, sown in May, doing nice. Here's my first early potatoes. There are somewhere under there. They need to come out today. They've been in the ground 19 weeks. 19 weeks. I should have taken them out of the ground by now. We'll see what happens with them shortly. Got the sunflowers there. Various states of bloom, depending on the type and when I sowed them. Over here, some more recent sowings of various things. We've got a beetroot here, sowed in May again. We've got 3 types. We've got Renova, Chioggia, and Crosby Egyptian. Again with a nice backdrop of sunflowers, old leek flowers. Leeks I just left in the ground from last year. Gone. Pretty empty bed here. There's some onions. I've sowed some seed at the back. Here we got some turnips sown recently, and some other stuff to come up. Rocket, I think. This wildflower bed. I sowed the seeds, so how wild can that be? I mean, it's only wild in its appearance, I guess. That's past its prime, but still doing okay. And a sunflower room here. Sunflowers of various heights. And again, states of bloom. So that one's gone bloom-wise, ready for the seeds. This is this one at the top. Still in bloom. Has it been a sunflower room? Let's get in. Let's get in. We're in. The short ones are at the front though, so I did imagine I'd be surrounded by sunflowers. I am, but it's maybe not quite how I planned it. But let's exit the sunflower room. Any subscribers who were watching the video from a few weeks back, wasps were destroying my sunflowers, eating the bottoms. That seems to have stopped now. So, sunflowers, plenty of them. Right, so we will get into fruit zone now on the old half plot, the one that I've had for about 10 years. Apple tree. These are quite sour till they go red, so there's plenty of apples on there, so all good. Pears. Again, improved over the past few years once I sort of got my pruning of the tree right. And we got the autumn fruiting raspberries here. Again, let's have a closer look at some of the beautiful, beautiful benefits of having an allotment. Lucky raspberry. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Here's the pond, full of water now. Is it greenhouse? Oh, Shed's greenhouse. Let's go in the Shed's greenhouse. Things to see here, things to see. My sweet peas all stopped flowering, so put the seed pods in here to dry out. As you can see, planted nothing but seeds there. I have to learn from my mistake last year where I left them in here and they all got eaten. But I've got my onions and garlic storing in here. There's some poppy seeds, some other flower seeds I've saved. So yeah, just make sure nothing eats those sweet pea seeds. Goji berries. So I sowed these. They were just canes, just with no foliage on a couple of years back. Put them in the ground. No goji berries yet, but they're thriving. I don't know if to move them to another part of the allotment because they're quite tall. Right, into the greenhouse. Not a lot to see here, but some items of interest. So these chilli plants at the top, I didn't repot them. I think I repotted them once, but limited chilies. Again, there's an aubergine here in a small pot, producing a flower. This aubergine I moved to a bigger pot, and we have got an aubergine. That's my biggest yet, which, to be honest, isn't saying much. But we should have an aubergine. But the chili plants that I put in a larger pot, got some beautiful jalapenos on there, so that is good. And then we've got some smaller basket of fire chilies at the bottom here, but maybe it's not the best location for them. Not sure they're getting enough light, but it'll be alright. It'll be alright. So let's get back outside onto the new plot, which I've had for 4 months now. So these were where all the there was one gooseberry and all the summer fruiting raspberries. They're kind of all gone now. Then we come on to my backup sweet corn. So this was sown in June, I think, because the sweet corn I sowed, we'll get onto that in the sweet corn I sowed in May. Didn't do very well at all, so it's behind. Will it produce sweet corn in time? We've got 2 squash plants here. One with, oh, there we go. Oh, that's big and that's going into there, but again, these were like late starters. I sowed 30 squash and pumpkin plants. I've got 4 left. I don't even know what these are, whether it'll be too late, because this one over here, although it's spreading out from where it started here, you know, it's a big plant, but we've got a couple of fruits that are developing. But again, it's timing. Will they be alright before? It's the end of August now. Gladiola. So all these bulbs were, when I took over the allotment, I dug this over and yeah, it's a bit weedy now, but all bulbs were in there, so I put them in here. I probably didn't put them deep enough because some are kind of flopping, but some beautiful display there. Next lot of potatoes, Maris Piper. This bit's empty. More potatoes. Cares pink. So they're either secondary or main crop. I've got some more to come. There's the sweet corn I sowed in May. It's producing the tassels and things. Very small. Again, I sowed like 30 there. Whether that's going to be enough to sort of pollinate it. Here we go. Pumpkin. So this one starts here, spreading out all over the place, but we do have 2 sizable pumpkins. Orange. So I have to do a bit of research as to whether it's best to sort of cut some of them vines off. I don't know. I want it to concentrate on making them pumpkins bigger. Bit slight wasteland here. Tomatoes. I've cut the leaves right back so that the tomatoes are exposed to as much light as possible. So spread out. Hopefully no blight on those. Cosmos. Some from seed. So, at various stages flowering. It's not finished yet. So that is good. Then we get to the get near the end. Here we have some more potatoes. We have got Picasso and Maris Piper main crop, so they're going to be ready. They'll be inundated with potatoes. So this whole fruit area here, like I said, most of the raspberries are gone, but you can see there's the occasional 1 or 2 that we've missed. The currants have finished. Come on to something in the back there in a second. We've got rhubarb over there. We're scanning this for red fruits in case we've missed any. What I failed to see until yesterday, if we look closely, we actually have some golden raspberries. Which I did not spot. Like I said, I was looking for red fruit. There we go. Let's have one of those. A very welcome surprise. So there we go. That's the pot. Let's just have a nice backdrop of some gladioli. Right, on to, let's get them potatoes up, yeah, the first earlies. Right, so we've got Casablanca and Nicola potatoes, sown 15th of April. Just dug a hole with a crowbar, popped them in. When the plants grew, I put some grass clippings around them to try and keep the sun off any potatoes that were near the surface. I'm a bit disorganised, so I don't know, there's 10 plants there, 10 plants there. I don't know which is which, and they look quite similar. I think Casablanca's this side, and I think Nicola is there, which turns out is a second early variety of potato. So we'll see, we'll see. I think if you leave first early potatoes in for too long, the skin kind of gets a bit thicker, which defeats the object of kind of new potatoes where you can cook them with the delicate skin on. Right, I'm going to get them out of the ground. We'll see the results afterwards. So we're halfway there with what I think is Casablanca. Some nice potatoes there. From what I'd read about the skin hardening if you leave them in the ground too long, I wasn't expecting them. I think whether you'll need to peel those or not, it doesn't matter. But so you know, you get some that are slightly smaller. But I'll show you the summary at the end. But good potatoes there. Right, let's dig up the other 10 plants of what I suspect is Nicola. Again, buddy. Again, some blooming. Again, some very nice potatoes there. I was a bit more unfortunate with the volume of potatoes that I dug through with my spade. Maybe I was being less careful as I went on. There's none really that have any green on them, so I did remember actually when I was digging them up something. I had earthed them up as well, just once, just as much soil as was between the plants, just earthed them up, so that's obviously helps along with the grass that I put on top. None of them seem to have been eaten by anything. Some of the other potatoes that I've dug up. So part of the reason why I haven't dug up these first earlies and these second earlies yet is I've had so many just bonus potatoes springing up, just popping up from potatoes that I'd left in the ground from previous years. So we've had loads and loads of them. A lot of those have been eaten. I put two pits, potato graveyards of potatoes that are either from the bonus ones that have been coming, that are either chopped in half or have been nibbled away. So we'll see what happens with those potato graveyards in due course. Anyway, I'm going to dig this over once more just to get any stragglers, say of bonus potatoes next year. Then we'll have a nice photo of them and a weigh-in. I haven't got any scales. I'll do that in the editing. Right, okay, come, enough rambling on. Dig this over and I'll show you all the potatoes. So I think I've identified them correctly. 10 seed potatoes of Casablanca put in, 10 seed potatoes of Nicola put in. Let's have the weights. First Casablanca, and now Nicola. So whether they've suffered by being in the ground for too long, I don't think so. Whether the skin is tougher than it would have been if I had took them out maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. Who knows? I'm pleased with it. Good crop. Nice one. So when it comes to first early potatoes, better late than never, definitely. In terms of my videos, I'll let you be the judge of that. Hopefully it won't be 3 weeks before the next video. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe. Send me a comment. See you next time. Cheers.